Hi, hi.
What do you got?
So, because we live in a computer simulation, there must be a God,
Okay, how do you know we're in a simulation?
because it's much more probable that we are in a computer simulation than in
How do you
base
know that?
reality.
How do you know that?
Because there's one base reality. How many computer simulations could you fit on one planet?
Well, you're what? That doesn't make any sense. You're presupposing that there is a. But by the way, what's the difference between a simulation that was naturally caused, a universe that was naturally caused, and a universe that was caused by an agent? What's the difference?
Because a simulation would have a creator, whereas base reality doesn't have a creator.
Okay. So if you're saying that there is a universe that does not need a creator, then why does any universe need a creator?
A simulation would need a creator.
Okay. If you just said that there is a universe called base reality that does not need a creation, why does any universe need a creation?
Because a computer simulation would have to have been built by a computer, and a computer would have to have been built by someone.
Okay, let's do this again. Why do we need a creator for universe, and why can't it be something natural like a quantum field? Why not?
Because there's a reason why they would build these simulations and watch them.
Yeah, you're not tracking with the argument, but have a good day, sir. There is no need for a simulator to make a universe.
¿No se lo sacó?
What do you got?
Jesus loves you.
Does he love me enough to not send me to hell when I die?
No, you will regret that you don't believe in God now, because when you go to hell, you wish that you
Why am
believe
I
in
gonna?
God.
Okay, why am I gonna go to hell? What I do that's so bad?
You have to believe in God.
Okay, so you're saying the only reason why God is gonna send me to hell is because I didn't believe in Him.
No, that's not the only reason you will go to hell.
What else? What else?
People that
What else am I?
are not with
What are
God,
my other
go to the devil.
charges? What are my other charges?
Whoever don't believe in God, believe it's with the devil. So if you, like God says, if you're not with me, you're with the devil.
Ma'am, do you have like a second to form a coherent argument? Why am I going to hell? Is it because I don't believe in your magic space daddy? Is that why?
No, God is not imaginary. God is real, very real. Okay, I got healed.
Okay.
My
How
mom
do you
got
know?
healed.
How do you
I
know
know a
that?
lot
How
of
do you
people
know?
that got
How do you
healed.
know
So
this?
God
How
is
how do
very
you
real.
know? How do you know God is real?
I've been serving Him for years. I've been praying to Him. I've
Man,
been
this isn't a
seeking for Him,
restaurant.
and
This is not a
He answers my
restaurant,
prayers.
man. Stop. This is not a restaurant. I'm asking for evidence of
What
your
are you
God.
talking about? We're not talking about a restaurant.
I'm getting served by God or something. I'm serving God now. What is this, Chipotle? You've been served. No loving being would send their child to hell. No loving being would do that, especially not for simply not believing in Him. That's ridiculous. If I had a child and it didn't believe in me, I wouldn't burn it. It's not love. True love is when you don't expect it back. It's unconditional. No matter how that person treats you, you still love them back.
How you doing?
What do you got?
Yeah, I'm just asking, why do you think that God is imaginary?
There's no evidence for it.
All right, but I have a question for you as well. So how do you think the world was created? Like, do you think it was just like been there since time?
It wasn't created.
All right, so All right, then how do we end up here?
Physics, evolution.
All right. Okay. Well, I see what you're saying, correct? But to me, I mean, I grew up in the church. Now, I'm not dissing on you for not believing in the Lord and all that stuff.
I
You have your own
don't care
beliefs.
about how you grew up, sir. I want evidence for your God. Give it or go away.
All right, look. It makes sense how we just magically showed up and you were born. How does that make sense to you?
That's not what I believe. That's what you believe. You believe one day a magic space wizard got bored and waved his magic wand and went, poof, let there be light. And we all magically appeared in 6 days. That's what you believe. The evidence shows us that we evolved through time, and that's a fact. That's how we got here. It's not because of some God. So give evidence of God or go away. Come on, sir. We're waiting.
You believe in life?
Do you believe in life after love? What do you got?
Skin's coming.
Do you believe in life after love? What do you got? Hello? Hello? Why does everybody have terrible signal?
Your very title proves that God exists.
What?
You say God is imaginary. Proof that God is. God
Imaginary,
does
not real.
exist.
Okay, great. So where, like, is this your evidence that God is that it's imaginary?
In the Bible, see or touch.
Okay. Are you in
You're
church
saying
right now? Your Wi-Fi is terrible. Leave church and go into an actual Wi-Fi area. Okay. Come back when you get Wi-Fi.
Yo, what's good?
How old are you?
40.
40. Watching SpongeBob in the background. Watching Barney in the background. I love you.
Yo,
What do you got?
can you hear me?
Fortunately.
All right. So if God is imaginary, what about miracles that were performed where blind people were able to see, crippled people were able to walk? Do you think that's all
These are
fake?
lovely miracles, sir, but where did this happen? In the Bible?
In churches. and it happened in the Bible.
Oh, really? The churches that fake these things? These are acts. They're not real. They're meant for global people like you to go, oh, wow, they healed this man. It's not real.
But have you seen it firsthand to say it was fake?
We don't have to see it firsthand, sir. They're literal fake acts. They're games. They're like it's like Broadway on steroids.
I could understand where you're coming from with like the bigger churches that are all over TV and stuff like that, where they want to do it and get more money and all that.
Sir, how do you know they're not fake? What's the evidence that people's eyes become see again? What's the evidence of that?
People are blind and they're blind their whole life, and all of a sudden they can see again. What is that?
Do you have any medical records of this happening?
I'm sure you can find some, no doubt.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Trust me, bro. Trust me, we'll find them somewhere. I'm not going to accept this, right? I want actual evidence of this. I don't want to trust you, bro.
Your opinion that it's fake is not evidence that it's fake. That's just your opinion.
Well, your evidence that Spaghetti Monster is fake is just your opinion too. Who cares about Spaghetti Monster or Harry Potter? There's no reason to think they're even true in the first place. What's your evidence? If you have no evidence, go away. You're wasting our time. Did you guys hear him say, "How do you leave?" We actually have healed people. It's called science and medicine. You know, religious people sit there and pray and hope and wish that their things get cured, but science actually does it. Hey, what do you got?
Hey, Mike, I just wanted to tell you the whole premise of your live is correct. You can't prove God exists. You can't do it because
I'm not asking for proof. I'm asking for any evidence.
But there is, what I'm saying to you is you can't prove it because it was all made up in the imagination of man. You can't prove it.
All right, thank you. Guys, only come up if you disagree. What do you got?
God, imaginary, can you prove me wrong?
Yeah, what's your evidence of God?
So first of all, back then they didn't have any medical or anything, any evidence back then. They didn't have nothing like that back then. So you really have to believe it was basically people seen it actually happen. You have to believe.
No, we don't sit there and go, oh, what did this person from 3,000 years ago claim to see in this magic fairy tale? That's not what we do when we look at evidence. When I ask for evidence, what I mean is something falsifiable, something verifiable, something we can test.
That's why you have the Bible. You don't test stuff like that.
Yeah, because the Bible is garbage and unfalsifiable, which means it's not evidence.
No. The Bible is not garbage.
Talking donkeys, talking snakes, all kinds of nonsense. Noah's Ark, Adam and Eve.
So how is the Bible garbage and everything right now is fulfilling itself? Like how can you?
It's not. It's called confirmation bias.
That should show you a lot of evidence right there. The Bible right there is so powerful.
Give me one example of something being fulfilled.
The Euphrates River is drying up, and Israel is getting attacked right now. That is God's city.
Israel has been being attacked for thousands of years. No, the Euphrates River has been being dried up and filled up again for thousands of years, literally. These things always happen.
You just keep believing what you believe. I don't understand how you believe
No, sir, you're not catching on to the fact that what you provided is actually not good reason. It's confirmation bias.
So you're telling me the Bible is not fulfilling itself. Do you not see that?
No, the Bible's a fairy tale for kids.
What?
The Bible is a fairy tale for adults. I'm asking for actual evidence.
No.
That can falsify.
No. No, it is not a fairy tale for adults.
Okay, do you believe in talking donkeys?
What? No.
Well, that's what your Bible says.
I mean, I don't think that would. I mean, honestly, I've never heard a donkey talk.
Okay, so why do you believe it?
Because the Bible is, I believe in Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And
I don't give a shit about some guy who died on a stick. I'm asking for evidence of a God. So can you give me evidence of a God?
No, you listen to me. You know how Jesus died long time.
And yes, Numbers 22 says donkeys can talk in the Bible.
Yo, let me ask you something, bro. So listen. All right, let's just calm down. What makes you say that God is imaginary? I just want to know. Just a simple question. Why do you say that?
The overwhelming lack of evidence for it, and the fact that every time you guys come up here, you never have an argument.
So that's why you think God isn't real? So silly, bro. Get me out of here, bro. I just wanted to ask. I just needed to ask you, bro.
Aw.
Nobody and everyone.
He was so curious. He was so curious about me. He just had to ask.
Hey,
What do you got?
hey, I was just wondering, do you have like a girlfriend?
Depends. I don't know
No,
what time
I'm
your
just,
I don't know
I'm
what
just,
time your mom's coming back from
I'm just
shopping, but
wondering whether
yeah,
you have a relationship or not.
me and your mom, yeah.
You can't, like, this is a real question. Do you have like a relationship or anything?
Yeah, your mom. What's your
I
evidence to
need a
God?
real one.
Your
So
mom's
no.
real. What's your evidence to God?
So you don't have a girlfriend? Do you have nothing? You just go on here and live and just.
There's the Jesus love, the Christian love. Did Jesus have a girlfriend? What would Jesus do? What do you got?
What's up, Mike? Can you hear me?
Come on, man. What is your argument? Hurry up before I kick you off. Hurry up.
I'm asking, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your argument now?
Okay, I just got a question.
Man, what is the question? Hurry up.
Why do you think that God is imaginary?
Because there's no evidence for it. Why do you think it's not imaginary? Why do you think it's real?
And do you got evidence that he's not real?
The lack of evidence
What's so
is
funny?
evidence of absence. Yes, we can take a look at logical paradoxes with your God, the omni paradoxes, divine hiddenness, the problem of evil. These are reasons to not believe in your God. Do you have any evidence though?
So what you believe in?
Facts.
What you believe in?
I believe in facts.
So you
Now,
believe in facts over feelings, right?
Yeah, what's your evidence for God, man? You have 10 seconds.
Why are you so rude?
Your religion's ruder. Next. Why are you so rude? Let me bomb Palestine now. Stop being rude. Hey, what do you got?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's your argument?
Argument. I don't know. I'm not really in it to argue. I just wanted to say that I was an atheist for 30 years, and science is what brought me to your science that you claim to be fact.
Yay! You're a Christian now. Woo! What's your evidence to God?
Most of it's theory. Scientific stuff is theory.
No, it's not theory, sir. In science, there are facts, then there are ideas, hypotheses, there are also theories. They're all connected. What is your evidence for God, sir?
I'm sorry that you can't handle the fact that your science proves the Bible to be true.
Really, what science proves that donkeys can talk or that Noah's Ark happened, a big fucking boat with all the animals on it?
Just do Google searches, bro. Instead of heckling people, do some research, educate yourself.
Did you say Google searches?
Educate yourself.
Okay, where? Where did you get your education from, sir? Google?
Isn't that what you do for everything else? Don't you search Google engine?
I don't just do Google searches. I look at the actual studies, the peer-reviewed science.
Yeah, so why don't you listen to your scientists out of their mouth confirm that the reason why they converted is because they found the Bible to be true when they were trying to discredit it.
So what scientific evidence demonstrates the Bible is true?
Mike, from a paleontologist aspect, there's proof. There's archaeology.
Where?
Mike, listen, I'm not going to school you on it, man. You do the research, just like you research all your scientific facts.
Give me one piece of research. One piece of research.
Mike, I have a ton of it, but I was like you. I was
Just
a
give
heckler.
one. Then just give one. Just give one. Just give one.
Let me finish my sentence, bro. I was a heckler like you. Listen, dude, listen. Just shut up for a minute and listen.
Nope. Give me a source or go bye-bye. I'm not going to trust you, bro.
Hey, I want to let you know that you're being disrespectful to everyone on this. Let people believe in what they want to believe in. It's not retarded.
Lexi, what do you think I'm going to go when I die?
I'm not saying that word.
Oh, hell, right? You think I'm going to burn? Okay. Is that respectful to burn somebody for simply not believing? Is that respectful?
It's not because you're not believing in something. It's because of how disrespectful you're being.
Okay. So
you're
you
being
think the reason why...
For no reason.
Ma'am, do you think that the reason why I'm going to go to hell is because I'm an atheist?
No, you're like being... No, I'm trying to let you know right now that you're being disrespectful to everyone on this live right now.
Can you answer the question?
You sound rude.
Can you answer the question?
No, I can't answer your question.
If I died today, would I go to hell, in your view?
You sound retarded.
Is that respectful to call somebody the R word? See, it's a double standard. Religious people think they can disrespect us, but we can't disrespect their belief. By the way, I'm not disrespecting anybody. I'm simply disrespecting your belief, and you feel bad about it. Get over it. Don't take it personal. It's logical, not personal.
You are a demon. First of all, why are you saying God is imaginary? He's a real person that was living before, and he is your ruler and savior and your Lord.
Where's your evidence of this?
We are all living evidence. He invented all of us.
Okay, so where exactly is this God? Up my ass?
On your mind.
Where?
On your mind.
On my mind. So God's imaginary.
No.
Then where is it?
Why do you think he has to be on the same level as us? He's above our level.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because he made us. He's our creator. Hello.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
I know that because it's just in the Bible. Come on now.
So we're talking donkeys and talking snakes.
You're a talking donkey, not me.
Oh, okay. So now you're going to disrespect me.
I mean,
all because you have no
it's no disrespect.
Right
You're
now,
disrespecting my Lord and Savior. Your Lord and Savior. You're disrespecting
Spaghetti Monster is my Lord and Savior. He saved us from the big meatball man 10,000 years ago. He saved us. He saved our planet from the big meatball.
You freaking
it's the same shit.
Loser.
Listen, man, listen. It's the same shit you're doing. You're spouting garbage. Anybody can do that. I'm asking for evidence of your God.
One second, real quick. I got...
Real quick. Bye-bye. Real quick. Bye-bye. Next. Bye-bye. Hey, Lydia. How are you?
Hi. Isn't this kind of like disrespectful towards people who actually believe in God?
Ma'am, there's a stigma in this world that people think that these beliefs are bad and that these beliefs we cannot touch, that these beliefs are sacred. And this is precisely the reason why we're in the situation we are in today, because people think that their beliefs are sacred and nobody can touch them, and then we fight over them. That's the problem. We cling on to these beliefs so much that we think that they can't be touched, and if anybody tries to attack them, they should be killed. That's exactly the issue. Your mentality is precisely the issue with religion. It makes you emotionally attached to these ideas.
Look, I don't believe in any kind of God.
Those
I'm
beliefs
just saying
are
it's
not
quite
sacred
disrespectful for
and
you
that
to
they
be
deserve
here
criticism, and no belief
talking
is
about
exempt
how
from
God is
criticism.
imaginary.
So do you have any actual evidence of your God before I kick you?
I don't believe in God. All I was wanting to say is that it's disrespectful to people who do believe in God.
I want my beliefs disrespected because that's how we change and learn. I don't want to be stagnant forever. I want to learn the truth. See, I'm open to learning. You're not. That's why that's why you still believe in talking donkeys in 2023.
What? I
Do you have
just
any
said
evidence of God or not?
I don't believe in any God or anything.
Okay, great. So
But
why are you
I just
here
don't think
crying?
I don't
Why are
believe in
you not
God and you
speaking
don't
up
believe in
against
God,
the
but I'm
idiocy
not
of
gonna
religion?
tell
Why are
people who
you not
believe it
speaking up against the
to
idiocy of religion?
what? Pardon me?
Why do you think it's wrong to criticize beliefs that are bad?
It's just disrespectful.
Ma'am, what's more disrespectful is people bombing each other for their beliefs. That's more disrespectful. If you're going to attack somebody for being disrespectful, why are you attacking me? Why not attack terrorists that try to take away people's rights? Why not try to attack religious zealots and religious leaders who are restricting people from being LGBT in many countries, like in Africa? Why are you attacking me and not the actual people who are administering this violence? I'm not the bad guy. Yes, it may seem that way because you
Hi,
don't like,
how are you?
you're not comfortable with what I'm saying, but just listen.
Hi.
What do you got?
Okay, let's go and look into nature, right? If there's a study shown where two plants are based opposite to each other, where one receives positive reinforcement and the other one doesn't. The same principle you would use to alter the structure of a snowflake being frozen by the specific wave of frequency that's being broadcasted. So technically there is a vibrationary pattern that is linked to the survival and detriment of the plant that is linked on words, right? You have the power of creation in your words.
No, that's utter garbage. So what you just uttered is nonsense. Words don't affect the growth of plants. It doesn't affect snowflakes. That's stupid. Sure, there are vibrations in the world, in the atmosphere, in things like that, that can lead to different patterns of materials and structures of things. But it is not the same as saying things and changing the structure of a plant or a snowflake. That's ridiculous. We're talking about very minute frequencies that are way lower than levels of our sound waves and from our voices. Do you have any actual research? Do you have any research that shows that you talking to something changes the structure of something like a plant?
Yes, I can send you a YouTube video if you want.
That's not research. YouTube is not research. I'm asking for actual scientific peer-reviewed research.
I can find that for you as well. Like, if you're not lazy, you can find it as well.
Give me one piece of data. If you can't do that, then go away.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
I'm not going to let people come up here and just spout garbage. I want data. I want facts and evidence, not YouTube.
Hello.
What do you got?
Hi, how are you doing?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What do you got?
Personally, I believe that you cannot prove a spiritual being. I believe faith is based on that also. Like, you cannot prove that, God is imaginary existence. You cannot prove that because he's a spiritual being.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that?
I know that because it's intellectual. Like, it's just, what people base their faith on. Like, that's what faith is based on. Literally.
Faith is based on fantasy and fear. It's based on going, I don't know how something works. Let me just trust that it's God. That's faith. Faith is utterly useless in any actual academic arena. We're talking about how you know that there's a God. Sure, you can have faith in it, but just as you have faith in God, I can have faith in no God. I can have faith that there's no God. And now we're back to square one.
Well, personally, for me, it has. I feel like my testimony in life is where I stand by that. And I feel like, I go based on what I've experienced in life, and I feel like half of the things
But
that
how do you know these experiences are actually God and not just something coincidental or something natural?
you're right, but I feel like I would rather put my trust in something higher than myself, because I know that myself fails as human nature. I know already that myself fails constantly. So I know if I constantly fail myself, and I felt that there was a spiritual being by me, which I claim to be like just a
Yeah,
person.
so we can feel things and those feelings be wrong about reality. The human brain is so fallible. 10% of people on the planet have hallucinations. They have psychosis. They have, sleep paralysis. Things that literally make us see illusions. And
Yeah,
hold on.
I'm sorry.
The problem is that your experience does not always correlate to reality. So we don't depend on faith. That's why we depend on evidence and facts that we can tether to reality to verify that what we experience is actually true.
But
that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for evidence that gets us closer to the truth. So what is that evidence for God?
Like I said, there's no evidence of a spiritual being. I don't think that
So why do you believe? If it's just going to be on faith,
I
well,
believe
I'm sorry, that's stupid.
I believe that's what it's based on, though. I just believe that that you don't. I'm sorry.
I understand you have faith, man, but if you care about the truth, you're not going to use faith. Faith is dishonesty. Because there's no evidence, you just admitted it, but you still believe. That's dishonest. You're trusting yourself when you should be trusting in the evidence.
Can I ask you something?
You can't even put a battery in your fucking smoke alarm. That tells me that you don't know how to operate in reality.
That's going a little extreme. Like, that has absolutely nothing to do with this conversation.
So what is your evidence for God?
That has absolutely nothing to do with this conversation.
Then what is your evidence for God?
But what I'm saying is that there doesn't have to be an evidence towards anything. That's what this is based on.
There has to be evidence if you're honest. I can sit here all day and just say, yeah, I have faith in Spaghetti Monster. Trust me, bro, he's real. I have faith in goblins and leprechauns. But that's dishonesty, right? I care about honest evidence and truth and facts. If you don't have that, you have no place in this discussion, let alone modern society, where we make laws. What do you got?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hi. How are you?
Great.
Okay, so my evidence is the Bible. Have you ever read Revelations?
Yeah. Have you ever read the part where donkeys can talk and the snakes can talk and that
you're not listening?
Built a big boat.
Read the book of
Revelation. A big flood that
you want to keep cutting me off, but you're not answering my question. Have you read the book of Revelation?
I did, ma'am, but it's nonsense.
Okay, so what in there is happening that's happening right now as we speak?
Nothing.
So the Euphrates River didn't dry up?
It always does. It fills back up again. It's called rivers. It's called water cycle.
So there's not a bunch of people dying and genocide happening right now?
Everybody's always died. It's literally always happens. People always die.
Okay. So you're just always gonna just think that because these things have happened in the past, that just magically the Bible has that in there. So it obviously wasn't a prediction. Okay.
Yeah,
so if it's happened so many times, you're contradicting yourself, friend.
There are no prophecies in the Bible.
Huh?
There are no prophecies in the Bible. Oh my gosh. Are you in the gym or something? There are no prophecies in the Bible. What you have is a story. And Revelation, by the way, it's not Revelations, it's Revelation, was depicting the end of the Roman Empire. It was not correlated to the modern America or the modern world at all. And they're not predictions, they're literal foreshadowings of things that happened in the story before. It's like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire predicting something that happens in the Deathly Hallows, right? It's like, yeah, it's the same author making the same claims. The point is that the things you claim are predictions are actually just phenomenon that always happen. And like floods, they always happen. Disease, death always happen. There's no reason to think that these are special occurrences or something that God is required for. But go ahead.
You're still not understanding what I'm saying. You just muted me, bro. Okay, so you're asking for facts. Facts are in history. People who were there around that time wrote those things in the Bible, and people are like, "Oh, it's a story." No, it's not. It's history. So how is that not facts for you?
Because donkeys can't talk. Do you agree? It's not historical, right? Is it historical that donkeys talked?
I don't think so.
But it's in your Bible. See, here's the problem. You can't make the claim that everything in the Bible is historical when you can't even prove anything in the Bible is true.
God bless you, man. I'm going to pray for you, okay?
I'm going to watch grass grow for you.
Listen, the only reason why you get so worked up about this kind of stuff is because you have something in you that you need wiped clean, buddy. Like people hate God.
Yeah, it's called
nowadays.
Religion. It's called religion.
People hate God nowadays because that's how it is.
Nobody hates God.
Anything that is good, it says in the Bible,
no
anything that is good, people are gonna hate at this time, at the end of times, man.
Man,
like,
you think I should burn for not believing in God?
That did not come out of my mouth. I'm a very loving Christian. Okay. I am a gay Christian woman.
Okay, ma'am. Do you think I should burn to death for being an atheist?
No, I don't. But
your Bible says I should. Your Bible literally says that you can own slaves.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying, okay?
Your Bible allows
you're also picking things out of the Bible that you want to pick out that are mean and mean and hateful. But Jesus wants you to bring people to him with love.
Okay. I'm picking out the things that you don't like and you're getting frustrated about it. Okay.
No,
how do you confront those verses?
Whatever you want to pick out of the Bible. But what I'm saying is,
so what's your response?
There's a light and there's a dark.
Ma'am?
Okay?
Ma'am?
There's a light and there's a dark. Listen, there's a light and there's a dark. Now, when you can either choose the light or the dark. Now, when you don't make a choice, that is choosing already. Do you understand?
I get it. I think it's working. Dark, light. Dark, light. I got it. Okay. And now the problem is, ma'am.
There is no problem. We both have different opinions, and that's okay.
No, this is not opinion-based, man. This is fact-based. Your Bible in Deuteronomy 13:6 says that I should be killed for being an atheist or swaying people away from God. Do you think that's a bad thing or a good thing to do?
Say it again.
Deuteronomy 13 says that I should be killed for swaying people away from God. Do you think that's a good thing or bad thing?
Even Satan believes in God, bro. Like even Satan believes that God is real.
Man, you're not catching on to the conversation. Can I repeat it myself again one more time before I kick you? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your Bible says that I should be killed for straying people away from God. Do you think I should be killed?
No, I don't think you should be killed, man.
Okay, great. So why does your Bible say I should? If it's so loving.
There are things in there that are hateful. I do agree with you. But there are also things in there that make sense.
Okay, if the Bible said that we should all grape each other, would you think that's okay? Like where does this end for you? Like where's your limits? What if the Bible says we should all murder and grape? Like, would you just go, oh, well, there's some bad things, but but it says you could pet your puppy.
There's good and bad of everything, man. Nothing on this earth
Okay,
matters that
is
you
God
do, that you
is
say.
God
Like
bad?
you,
Is God bad?
it's the everlasting life. You get that after. That's the point of the Bible. It's supposed to give you hope.
And the
You're
point of
supposed to be faithful.
the
You're
point of
supposed
Harry
to bring
Potter is
people
that
to God
he becomes a
with
wizard and he has
love, not
magical
hate.
spells.
It's not about hate. Jesus wants people to
Your
come to
Bible
him
is completely
with
about
love.
hate. Your Bible allows slavery and rape and murder. Your Bible is completely about hate.
Okay, have you read one thing in the Bible that is a beautiful thing?
No, not really, to be honest. It's all
Okay.
garbage.
Have you ever heard of Corinthians?
Corinthians? You mean Corinthians? Yeah.
Okay, I mean you can make fun of the way that I talk, that's fine, but regardless, I'm saying, it talks about, okay, what about the verse that talks about love? Love is patient, love is kind, all that. I think that that's a good
Is
representation of
love
love.
okay? You think you're loving? You think your God's loving, right? If I
He
had a
is
child,
loving.
if I had a child who did not believe in me, would that be okay to burn that child?
No, it's not okay to
great.
hurt people.
So when
I
your
don't know why
God,
you keep
so
going back
ma'am,
to that.
hold on,
Oh,
hold
hate
on,
and
hold
hate
on.
and this is the problem.
When your God makes me and he burns me for not believing in him, you would think that's wrong too, right? Right?
I'm not coming at you hateful at all.
Okay.
I'm really not.
Have a good day, man. Have a good day. You clearly can't track the argument.
Yo.
What do you got?
So do you want to have a debate or do you want to just talk about your assertion?
Go ahead. Give me evidence to God.
So so you don't have an assertion.
What do you mean? What assertion?
You're presupposing your assertion behind you without any sort of stance behind it and not asking for a debate.
So when I say God's imaginary, what I'm saying is that's most likely the case based on the fact that there's no evidence for God and based on the fact that every definition of God I've heard of entails logical paradoxes. So
sorry, say that again? Sorry, I cut out there.
What is your evidence for God now? Okay. What? I can't hear you. I cut out.
Out here on my son, won't stop.
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, all right, so why do you think God is imaginary?
There's no evidence. Do you have any?
Well, there's evidence for Jesus.
I don't care about a guy who died on a stick. I care about a God.
So if you're just gonna say you don't care when there's clearly evidence, bro, you're just being super immature.
Listen. I'll grant you the guy that died on a stick like a shish kebab, but
okay,
I'm asking
so the
for
guy who
evidence
died
of
on a stick was
I'm
actually
asking for
predicted all
evidence,
throughout the Bible,
sir. I'm asking for
Old
evidence
Testament
of a
and New
God, not a guy, a God.
Yeah, Jesus was God in human form.
That's an assertion.
In human form, he says that.
That's an assertion, sir. I want evidence for that.
So Jesus is a physical form of God, and
I want evidence.
He was predicted in the Torah, the Old Testament, and the New Testament. Evidence Jesus was real.
Okay.
There's accounts for him. And then hold up.
Sir,
there's accounts that his grave was actually
Peter Parker. Let's say Peter Parker is a real guy. Does that mean he's Spider-Man?
No.
In real life?
But is there evidence that there's someone who can swing around and shoot webs out of his ass? Bro, there's actual evidence for Jesus.
You believe that Jesus walked on water, was born of a virgin, and turned his body into bread like a muffin man? It's just as bad, if not worse, than Harry Potter.
Okay, so body for bread is metaphorical, but you're dumb.
Oh, metaphorical. Maybe God's metaphorical.
Dude, there's literally so many metaphorical meanings in the Bible.
Great. So what's your evidence of God?
Hold up. My evidence is that the Torah is all predicting Jesus. The entire Bible is about Jesus.
No, it's not. Give me one verse.
All right.
Give me one verse in the Torah that demonstrates Jesus exists.
I will. All right. So There's already evidence for Jesus, but when God asked Abraham to kill his first son, to sacrifice his first son, that's prediction for Jesus. That's what God had to do.
No, it's not.
Sacrifice his
There's
first
many
son.
people that
Yes, it was a
applies to.
test. It was a
That literally
test.
applies to
That was
many
prediction
people.
for Jesus. Yes.
No. First of all, I don't care about a Jesus. I care about a God.
Okay,
Give evidence
God
of
is,
God, please.
bro, Jesus, the Son of God. Jesus would not be able to survive.
What is this, like the Avengers? The Thor had to come down and die for Iron Man. He wouldn't be able to survive without Thanos. All right. Next victim. Guest.
Oh,
What do you got?
have you heard of a tree called the Yulin magnolia?
No.
Right, so I'm not going to waste your time with like verses that you don't believe in, etc., etc. You seem to be a person who like wants facts and blah blah blah. Cool. So there's a tree called the Yulin magnolia, and the plant is shaped like a bird. Right.
Okay.
So my point is,
my penis is shaped like a tower. It doesn't mean that God made my penis.
whoa, okay. Why are we talking about your dick, bro?
You're talking about trees.
Okay, cool. Well, I've got a point.
Of God, sir. Where's your evidence for your magic God?
Okay, listen. So the tree shaped like a bird. How did the reason for the tree being shaped like a bird is that it scares off birds, right? What my question is to you is, how did a tree know what a bird looked like?
Okay, you're talking about natural selection, sir. Are you talking about natural selection? Do you know how natural selection works?
I'm talking about the tree knowing what a bird looked like. How did it
It
know what a
doesn't
bird
know. Oh my gosh, it doesn't know what a bird looks like. Natural selection is survival of the fittest.
So how did it
Listen, let me educate you, sir, because you clearly don't understand evolution. The trees that resembled birds, they were the ones that survived more because they were able to fend themselves off from the birds who didn't eat them. The birds were scared of them. The ones that didn't look like birds, they died off because they were eaten by the birds. That's how natural selection works. Over many generations, that occurred. That's what explains that shit.
Okay, so a tree made a seed, right? And the plants shaped like birds survived, and the other ones didn't. You're saying, yeah?
Yeah, that's natural selection.
So why don't all trees have birds then? If that's the case, and the only trees that survive in that area, right?
Because there's different types of
I listen
birds.
to you, mate. I listen to you. Did you want to listen to me for a second?
I'm answering your
Can
question,
I-
sir. You're not listening. The answer is because there are different conditions for every species on the planet. Every species is different and undergoes different evolutionary pressures and environmental conditions. That's the reason why. And this is not the only example of something that happened in this past. Another example of this is in crabs, in humans. Crabs that resembled people. A lot of people didn't eat those crabs. They survived. The ones that didn't look like people, they ate. This is another example of natural selection. Okay?
Hello.
Yeah, what's your evidence of God now?
You muted me, so I couldn't reply. So what I'm saying is, you didn't understand what I said, right? You're saying it's natural selection for this tree to it put out loads of feelers, right? It looked like a frog, then it looked like a bee, and then it looked like a bird, and then that one worked and it didn't get eaten. My point is, right? Why is all the trees not looking like birds then to survive?
I answered your question. You didn't listen to what I said. Every species undergoes different environmental conditions and pressures. That's why.
No. Okay. So here's another idea, right? It could be natural selection, and they put out feeders, like you said, every species, like you said, right? Or it could be intelligent design.
No, it can't be intelligent design.
Why can't it be intelligent design? But it can be what you're saying.
There is no example of intelligent design anywhere in nature. If it was so intelligent,
the golden spiral.
Stop. Intelligent design is dumb. It's not. There's no intelligent design. If anything, this is stupid design. Look at things like the left recurrent laryngeal nerve in giraffes. It took a 15-foot detour. It's a nerve that took 15-foot detour. When all it had to do was go this way, it took a 50-foot detour. No intelligent designer would design such a stupid thing.
So what about the golden ratio?
It's a mathematical formula, sir.
Okay, so what's a mathematical formula?
Math is a way that our brains operate, right? It's a language, just like logic.
So you said there's no such thing as intelligent design, but the golden ratio is exactly that. It's intelligent design. It's a design.
You're presupposing that. I'm asking for evidence of that.
What? Evidence of what, sorry?
Intelligent design.
The golden ratio. The tree, Ulan magnolia, that looks like...
How do you know that the golden ratio means God did it and not just our brains?
Because, Mike, trees don't have eyes to see what a bird looks like, right? Trees don't have eyes.
Oh my God. Literally. It's like I'm talking to a wall at this point.
How you doing, brother?
How you doing, brother?
Okay, so I just had a question, and if I sound ignorant, I sound ignorant, but I just heard this from somebody, and I heard you talking about evolution. I was just curious. I just want to get more knowledge on it. I was just curious about, like, evolution. I'm not saying that I don't believe in it. I'm not saying I do believe in it. I heard from somebody, and like I said, I don't want to sound stupid or anything, but if evolution is real and we evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? Like I said, I know that sounds stupid.
Stop spitting. Oh my God.
Like I said, I know.
Okay, let me clear this up for you guys. Evolution's not like Pokemon. You don't have a Charmander morph into a Charizard with a Firestone. No. We don't come from monkeys. We share common ancestry with monkeys. In a tree of evolution, where we all share a common ancestor and from there branched out into different species over many, many generations, okay? Go learn some science, please.
Hello.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What do you got?
I don't know. What do you got? Because I just see this and I'm just really confused. Like, what is your whole idea? I guess.
That you're going to go away. Next. That's the idea. Hey, what do you got? Kirsty? Hello? Okay, have a good day. Hundred thousand likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Keep tapping. Keep tapping if you like the live. Thank you for the gifts, Jordan, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate you. And Bad Kitten, thank you. Someone said have fun in hell. There's the Christian love. Let me bomb Palestine and have fun in hell. But I love you.
Hello. So first of all, I know this is your live, but it's funny to me you're so arrogant when people are trying to talk to you.
Sir, you believe that everything was made for you. You're the arrogant one here. What's your evidence of God?
Well, I don't believe that. My evidence of God is the fact that you're breathing right now. Roll your eyes.
Okay, so if I don't breathe, does that mean God doesn't exist?
DNA.
If I don't breathe, does that mean God doesn't exist?
DNA. See, you're being arrogant right now. The fact that you're breathing means you're alive.
I'm not breathing.
You're arrogant.
That means I debunk God.
It's all funny, but every knee will bow. Every knee will bend, every head will bow in the end.
Yes, Savior. Yes, Savior. Sir, what's your evidence of God? And if you're going to say that there's DNA, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. DNA is
Okay, how is that
molecule.
ridiculous?
It's not God. There's no evidence of God making it. What's your actual evidence?
What's more intelligent than DNA?
What do you mean?
Go
That
ahead.
makes no sense. What do you mean DNA is not intelligent? It's a molecule.
Really?
It's a fucking
It makes
molecule.
every part of you. How is that by accident?
Nobody said it was accident. We're saying it's by nature, chemistry, natural causes.
Natural causes created who we are?
Yeah, it's called chemistry, sir. Go learn it.
That's embarrassing. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, says the one who didn't get an education.
Really? How do you know?
Because you don't know what chemistry is.
I didn't say I didn't know what chemistry is.
Then
I just don't believe every bit of it.
Then you would know that chemistry is what made DNA. It's a chemical process.
Schools don't teach God.
Because God doesn't exist.
It's called indoctrination.
Sir, you believe in talking donkeys. That's indoctrination. No. Okay, great. So where's your evidence of God, sir, for the last time before I kick you?
You just talk over people, and that's your evidence.
Oh,
You're,
okay. So
you're very rude.
Okay. Have a good day. You just talk over people. I let you give the evidence, and you failed. Now you're mad.
Hello.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
What do you got?
Why is it you only ask females how old they are, but you don't ask the men, the guys? That's very strange. Anyway.
Because you sound younger. Go ahead.
Okay. You want proof that God is real, yeah? Look at Jerusalem. You have Jesus' tomb. You have the water. You have so much evidence in Jerusalem itself. Whatever's written in the Bible about Jerusalem, if you go there, it's still there today. That's number one.
Yeah, because that's
Number
where they wrote the
two.
fucking Bible.
Okay, I'm not done. Cool. Number two, if God wasn't real,
No.
why
You
is
don't
there...
have number one. You didn't have a number one yet. You can't go to number two when you don't have number one, okay? When it comes to the Bible is depicting ancient Jerusalem because that's where they fucking wrote the Bible, around that area, okay? There's no reason why that because Jerusalem exists in the Bible, that means it's real. New York City exists in Spider-Man. Does that mean Spider-Man is real? Does that mean he's walking on the walls and web slinging around the world? And no. I'm asking for evidence of a God, not Jerusalem. I don't care about Jerusalem. What's your evidence of your God? Okay? God. Not a city. God. This isn't the Marvelverse. Shamsha, please take your mic, put your mic on, please. Come on, Shasha.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, what's your evidence for God?
Yeah, so why is there millions of people that have experienced God? In the Bible, it says that us as Christians, we should share our testimonies. Why is there millions of people that have testimonies if God wasn't real?
Because they're
because you're
called
acting like
delusions. They're called
it's not called
delusions.
delusion. So you're saying that millions of people in the
Hold
world are
on. Let me
deluded.
respond. Let me
That
respond.
doesn't make sense. And
Ma'am,
on top of that, bro,
ma'am,
I'm not. Let me just finish because what I've realized on your
millions of people see Allah, claim to see the Hindu gods, the Buddhist gods. Everybody has visions of their God, their religion of choice. It's all nonsense. Anybody can claim they saw Jesus. It's so fun to do that. I saw
cool.
Spaghetti Monster. I saw Jesus in a
Oh
dream.
my gosh, that's
I want
amazing.
actual evidence. Anybody can have a belief. Anybody can and claim to see God. I want evidence.
Cool. So in the Bible, it states that there will be a lot of false prophets that will come about. We are seeing a lot of false prophets. In the
There always
Bible,
were
it
false
says,
prophets. There always
listen,
were
it
false
says
prophets.
that there will, you're not gonna let me finish, are you? Like, are you gonna let me talk or not? You're literally asking for proof, and when people are trying to speak to you, instead of humbling yourself and hearing people out, you're just
Ma'am, you think you get to destroy a world, a country, because of your Bible. You got to humble yourself. You think that the entire universe was designed so that you can be here. You humble yourself. You think that everybody else is wrong and I'm right because I saw God in a dream. You humble yourself, ma'am. You do not present any evidence of a God at all. Zero.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to ask a few questions and I want answers. All right. So first question: does everything that has a beginning has a cause? Yes or no?
No, nothing has a beginning.
Nothing has a beginning. You sure?
Yeah, nothing has a beginning.
You sure? You want to? Nothing has a beginning. Are you sure you don't want to take that back?
Nothing begins to exist.
But does it really now? Okay, so let me explain why that's not true. So let's actually go into why an eternal universe cannot exist. Actually, so let's go into that. So first of all, the logic of an eternal universe is, so correct me if I'm wrong, it's that the universe has existed forever and always has been. Correct? Yes or no?
All times, yeah.
Great. So by the logic of infinity, it is impossible to traverse with a finite body, correct? Yes or no?
Yeah, but that's given the A theory of time. The B theory of time is more accurate, and what that demonstrates is that time is relative, and that we don't traverse through space-time. That's relative. You don't have to traverse an infinite amount of time to get to this moment. All times exist simultaneously, according to the B theory.
Okay, yes, even if that's true, okay, it's impossible for a finite body to traverse. Well, not traverse this, you said, but to exist within a time that's been infinite. So that means that, like, if the universe had existed for an infinite amount of 24-hour periods, for example, that would mean that we'd never be able to arrive to the present day, as we would not be able to traverse.
I just explained this to you. Time is not split into 24 hours. That's nonsense.
I never said that it specifically was. I was saying that 24
Okay,
hour
great.
period.
So then you understand that time doesn't work that way. Time doesn't pass. That's an illusion. And Einstein demonstrated this with relativity, that time doesn't pass. And that's an illusion of passage.
Okay, yes, but it would still be impossible to arrive in this current moment.
You're not understanding.
Of course, you said that it doesn't pass.
The proposition you've just posited is not possible. It's not a logical possibility because it doesn't make sense. It's not coherent. That's the problem, right? It's not possible for time to pass. That doesn't make any sense. That's why I adhere to the B theory of time, which is more accurate. In that sense, all times exist. The past exists now. The future exists now. What we call the past and future exists in a long timeline, an infinite timeline. In that sense, nothing is passing through time.
I get what you're saying, and I understand it. But the thing is that you said the past exists and the future exists at the same moments. The issue is that I'm taking
They
a.
both exist simultaneously.
That's what you said. That's
Not
what
not
I
in
said.
moments, but they exist in space time simultaneously.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Anyways, though, I'm taking a finite body, the observable universe. If that truly were to be infinite, that is a finite body, first of all, so that you can say time is relative all you want. It's still a finite body and therefore has its own sort of time zone.
Time zone in relativity scenario would just be a coordinate in the universe, a coordinate of space-time. It wouldn't be there would be no need for a beginning.
Okay, again, you have not been able to answer the question of how can we be in this current moment if there's been infinite periods of the past behind us.
Because the current moment, which is just one slice of space-time, and it's not that these slices are passing, right? There is no moment in the universe where all moments are shared. That doesn't make any sense. Again, everybody's now moment is different. It's relative. There is no one moment of the universe where everything simultaneously exists at the same time. That's not true. Think of time as like a number line. And as all the numbers exist on a number line statically, so do all times as slices. But the passage of time, the seeming passage of time is an illusion, probably brought about by the brain. But the fact remains that time doesn't necessarily pass, and it is stagnant just as space is. That's why we call it space-time, because they're the same things. Just as all of space exists out there infinitely, so can time exist out there infinitely.
I do hope you realize that as much as you say that, I don't really have the website on hand, but Aristotle's studies show that a finite body cannot exist within an infinite time period. It is from Aristotelian physics.
Aristotle was an idiot. He thought that there was four elements: fire, wind, earth, and not. He was a complete moron, relatively speaking, right? In today's world, he would be an idiot, but back then he was the smartest person. But Aristotle got many things wrong. We now know that physically speaking, there is no first mover or first causer. We now know that motion is relative. Aristotle was wrong. Get over it.
Okay, can you explain how that is wrong though? Like, sure, I can say something wrong. I could say the sky is green, which of course color is also relative, but that's besides the point. I can say 1 + 1 = 3. So, and that's one thing I've said wrong, but I can still say many things right.
What's your point?
My point is that you've said that Aristotle, you're taking examples from previous things that Aristotle said and using that to conclude that he's an idiot rather than.
It's not about Aristotle. I'm talking about your argument. It fails. It is incorrect. Because time is relative, motion is relative. There is no first cause. There is no beginning. There is no need for that.
Our conversation began. That has a cause.
No. It did not begin to exist. Our conversation was one moment in space-time that came from a cascade of other causes that led to this now moment, what we call the present moment. But again, the passage of time, the idea that time is moving like frames in a movie, that seems to be an illusion. Again, this is very difficult to comprehend, but the point is that your argument doesn't work under modern science. This is what people thought thousands of years ago, but in modern day, there is no need for a God or a first cause or a beginning.
And the issue is with the argument against our conversation beginning. The issue with that is that our conversation can be considered conceptual. So how is a concept bound by time and space? I'd like you to answer that.
What?
How is a concept bound by time and space?
Concepts are just thoughts in the mind.
No, concepts are ideas. They don't specifically have to be brought out from a mind.
They do. Concepts need a mind to produce them.
Can you prove that? I just want to know. Can you prove that?
Neuroscience demonstrates this, that thoughts yield these things. Electrochemical impulses yield thoughts.
Didn't exist before then?
What?
And what if those concepts existed before then?
What concepts existed before them? I don't understand what you're saying.
Such as the concept of this conversation. What if that existed before then, but was only, it was a probability, I think, it was a probable occurrence.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know how this proves a God, sir. How does this demonstrate God exists?
If you really want me to get on the next argument, I will. Fine-tuning. Fine-tuning
is evidence against the God.
How?
Because if God exists and fine-tune the universe, he wouldn't have to fine-tune anything. He's God. He can make us live under any set of conditions he wants to. He's fucking God. But more importantly, the universe we live in today is very harsh to life. Life is a rarity in this universe. If there was a God who'd fine-tune the universe for life, we would expect life everywhere. We would expect to live anywhere we want to in the universe. But we don't find that. We find a universe where we're barely hanging on. A universe which most species that have ever existed are now extinct and never coming back. That is not a fine-tuned universe for life to me.
Yeah, but why would God make a perfect universe? Like, why would he? What reason would he have?
Who said it's perfect?
Well, perfection is relative, but let's think of it this way. The gravitational constant, electromagnetic constant, mass of a proton, mass of an electron, mass of a neutron, if any of those were slightly different, the universe would... the universe might just go bananas. It would just...
Okay. And you would say this to any universe that existed. Any possible universe, you would say the same thing to, right? If there was another universe where it had different laws of gravity, different laws of electromagnetic forces, that it would be a different universe to ours. And in their universe, they're saying, oh, look, if universe is any different, we wouldn't be here. The same thing every universe would say, which tells me that there doesn't need to be a somebody making us exist under these sets of conditions. There could be a naturalistic reason, like a multiverse, as to why there are different types of universes. Or maybe this is the only possible universe such that this is necessary. The conditions are necessary for existence, and there's no need for a God.
Well, then how did those conditions come to be if there was no God?
Well, they could either be, I just explained this to you. Either they're necessary, or there is a probabilistic element to this in which there's a multiverse with possible universes that emerge naturally.
Which that breaks down from Occam's razor.
What?
That breaks down from Occam's razor.
Occam's razor has no bearing on what I just said. In fact, if anything, Occam's razor is in favor of me, because you're adding God when I can just say the universe is necessary.
No, I'm using Occam's razor on your multiverse argument, which it's much easier.
I don't even have to invoke a multiverse. I can just say the universe and these sets of conditions are necessary.
But why are they necessary then?
Necessary beings don't need explanations. That by definition. It's analytically true. Does God have an explanation?
Not specifically, no.
Great. So we can appeal to the same logic with the universe and say the universe has no explanation.
The universe isn't transcendent.
Neither is your God. And I don't see why that even matters.
You need to be outside of things like space-time. You need to be transcendent of those concepts.
Why?
Simply because if he didn't, then he would be... Well, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-powerful, he cannot be bound by anything. He can't be bound by time. He can't be bound by logic. But he does go
He's
with
not
logic.
bound by logic, so your God exists and does not exist at the same time?
No, he does exist. He goes along with logic, but he's not bound by it.
So your God can defy logic.
If he wanted to, but he doesn't, because he goes along with logic. He's logical.
So he's illogical by definition. If he can defy logic, he's illogical, right?
He can be illogical. He has a possibility, but he's not, because he goes with logic.
But the sheer fact that your God can defy logic means it is illogical.
No, because he is logical in nature, but he could be. It's a possibility. I don't say that.
If your God has the ability to, if your God has the ability to defy logic, then he is by nature illogical.
No, if I gave you a car, I wouldn't say it's a crashed car because there's a probability that it could be crashed at some point. I say it's a car because that car is not crashed yet, and therefore it remains as a working car.
Yeah, but you're saying that the car can be an elephant. That's what you're saying right now. You're saying that God can exist and not exist if he wants to, which means that if he has that ability, he must be illogical.
But that's not true. Just because he has that ability and can do that doesn't mean he is doing that. Therefore, he remains logical.
Okay. By definition, if something has a nature, right? I'm a human being, right? My nature is to be a human, right?
Yup.
Can I be an elephant?
Nope.
No, right? Because it's not my nature, right? But can I jump? Yeah, right? That's in my nature. That's a possibility in my nature. So your God's nature, all of his abilities derived from his nature. So if your God can be illogical, then your God's nature is illogical.
Allah's nature does not stem from being illogical. It stems from being logical. Just because he's not bound by it
But it
doesn't
can
mean
also
he
be
remains
illogical. That's the point.
No, that's just not true. That is not.
So then your God can't be illogical then.
He could be if he wanted to, but he's not.
Then your God's illogical, sir.
That's not true.
Yes, it's just called modal logic, right? If there's a possible world in which your God is illogical, then that means your God's illogical, necessarily.
You were simply limiting God, which that in itself.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but it's a fact that your God's limited by logic.
He's not limited by logic because he's omnipotent.
Okay,
but
great.
He does go along with it.
So then your God's illogical.
I can break it. I can break the law, but I go along with the law. It doesn't mean that I'm a criminal. It just means that I just abide by the law.
Could your God not exist and exist at the same time if you wanted to?
That's simply a false statement.
Oh, I thought you said God could be illogical, though.
Yes, he can, but he's not.
Okay, have a good day. I can't. I just can't.
Hi.
What do you got?
So, you said God is imaginary. What do you mean by that?
It's not real. What's your evidence that's real?
Do you have a proof he's not real?
I don't need proof to know that your God's not real. The overwhelming lack of evidence is evidence of its absence. But we can also take a look at logical paradoxes, the omniparadoxes, the problem of evil, divine hiddenness. These are some reasons why your God's not real. But do you have any evidence that it is real?
I mean, the problem I have with atheists is like it takes, you say you have to seek God to believe God, right?
No,
And
that's not what I said.
obviously,
That's not what I'm saying, ma'am. I need any evidence of God.
I mean, you're the evidence, your existence, everything that exists.
Okay, if everything that exists is evidence of God, then that's the same thing as saying everything that exists is not evidence of God, because there's no symmetry breaker between those two things. You can't pinpoint to anything and say that that's evidence of God, because you're saying everything's God. And if you say everything's God, I can say nothing's God, and it's the same thing.
So what would it take for you to believe in God?
Evidence.
What kind of evidence?
Any evidence that is falsifiable or verifiable.
Right. So do you think that I don't get it. Like, what do you mean falsify? Like, do you want God to be under a telescope? Like, I don't get it.
I want a way in which you know that God exists, a way in which we can falsify and test for, to make sure that what you're saying is true and not just garbage, right? Not just lies. I want a way of knowing that what you're saying is true. How do we know that God exists? How do you know that?
Honestly, I think you can only know that after death. But then again, we have to earn. You can't just see God. You have to earn it.
Okay, great. So how do you know? So what are the reasons in which you believe in God then?
What's the reason? Well, I'm a theist, so I'm a
You're
Muslim,
atheist? You're atheist?
No, I'm a theist. Like I
Okay,
believe in
what is
God.
your evidence of God then? What is your reasoning for God then?
I believe in God, honestly. Like, but if
I don't care what you believe. I want evidence. I want evidence. I want evidence. I want evidence. I want evidence.
So I just got on here. I probably missed a little with it. What do you mean God is imaginary?
It's not real. It's not real. Do you have any evidence of God?
And why do you feel like God is not real?
There's no evidence of it.
There's no evidence of God. So have you tried to gain a relationship with God? Have you attempted
Let me try.
to
God,
seek
I
these
love
answers
you.
from
God,
God himself?
I love you, God.
That's not how that works.
It didn't work. What else you got?
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Okay, great. So where's your evidence of God?
It's not about having evidence of God. You have to gain a relationship with God himself
Right.
to
Okay.
get these answers.
So what's your relationship with God like? How long have you guys been in a relationship?
Since before the foundation of the earth was laid, I had a relationship with God.
You guys going? Wow, it's a long time. You guys must love each other.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
very long time.
And does he give you gifts, flowers for your birthdays?
You have that same relationship with God as
What's
well. You just
Valentine's
reject it.
What's
You just
Valentine's
reject it.
What's Valentine's Day?
You just reject it, and that's okay to reject it. That's on you.
I don't.
Saying God is imaginary.
I don't reject your God. I see no evidence for it even existing in the first place.
You do reject them. You do reject them.
Then give evidence to. There's no evidence to reject.
You will have to gain a relationship with God yourself for you to receive evidence. I can't give you evidence from a God.
How do I get a relationship? Okay, how do I get a relationship? How do we get?
I can pray that God manifests himself to you in a way you can't deny. That's what I'll do.
Okay, do it right
but
now.
as far as me giving you evidence,
let's do it.
My life is evidence.
Let's
My
do it.
life is evidence.
Let's do it.
My life evidence.
Let's do it. Pray for God.
You have to pray with a genuine.
Get him onto live.
Pray. No, you pray. I'll pray for you, but you pray. You pray with a genuine, open heart.
So if I pray
and a
right
willing
now,
and accepting spirit.
So if I prayed right now, I'll have a relationship with God, and I'll know He's there.
That's not what I said. No, that's not how that works.
Oh,
so because you already rejected Him. You're already carnal. You're already have a stony heart. So it's no way you're going to be able to pray and say, "Oh God, I want to receive," and He's going to allow you to receive Him. Yes, you have a stony heart, and I pray God turn your heart to flesh so you can understand Him. All right. At the end of the day.
Okay, great.
At the end of the day.
How do I turn my heart from stone to God? How do I do that?
You go ahead and you pray for that. You pray for that deliverance, and you seek that deliverance, and you seek that fullness in God. And I'll pray for you. Okay. But there's only so much I can do for you if you're not willing to accept Him.
How many times I gotta pray? How many times I gotta pray?
If you're not willing to accept Him yourself, you already lost. So
okay, I accept you, God. I accept you.
That's not how that works. Unfortunately, that's not how that works.
How does it work? I said from a
from spirit. You have to pray from spirit with an open heart. You are already closed off, so it's not going to work. And God already sees that. God already sees that you're closed off. So why would God give someone a relationship with them who's not really seeking
it's not
it?
like I was a
You
Christian
can
for
speak
20.
with your mouth. You can.
It's not like I was a Christian for 20 years of my life before this. It's not like I don't know what you're talking about when you say relationship. Ma'am, you don't have a relationship with God. You pretend you do because it feels good. You actually have a relationship with yourself. You just think it's God, but it's yourself. Whoa, how do you show that? How do you know that? Tell the difference. If you can't tell the difference between your subconscious and God, that's a big red flag, okay? So tell me the difference between your subconscious thoughts and God. Go. If you can't do that, you're going to go bye-bye.
Did you turn my mic off? Are you muting me?
Please answer the question, ma'am.
You turned my mic off. So if I'm going to answer a question, don't turn my mic off, please. What was your question? What was your question?
How do you tell the difference between your subconscious and God?
First of all, my thoughts are not my own. So there's multiple thoughts in my mind and in your mind and everyone's mind that are not their own.
How do you know that your thoughts are not from
discernment. You have
yourself?
to have discernment to tell the difference. And if you don't have discernment, you won't know the difference. I have discernment. So I can discern the difference in my thoughts. I know when a thought is coming from God, I can feel it in my spirit. And I know my Father's voice.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because I have a relationship with him. That's how.
How do you know that?
I have a relationship with him. That's how I know that. You don't have that relationship with him, so you don't know. The devil is the author of confusion, and you are confused. You are confused, and you're leading people to be confused, and you're going to be judged for that. That's the only thing I got on here to say, because you already got your mind made up. So I didn't get on here to debate with you. But you are going to be judged for misleading people. The way you teach people.
I'm such a bad boy. I didn't believe in God. Oh, no. Smack me, Daddy. This is ridiculous. I'm asking you for evidence of a God, and all you can say is, I have a relationship. And when I ask you, how do you know that? You say, I have a relationship. It's circular. It's stupid. But nice try. What do you got?
What's up, man? I cannot prove God's real.
When you're done eating Skittles, come back. You'll be spanked by the devil.
That's funny. Question: do you know what a diffuse nebula is?
You're talking about this cloud, interstellar cloud?
Correct. However, not just a nebula, a diffused nebula.
Is it when a white dwarf releases its exterior plasma?
No. Okay. A nebula, there's a regular nebula. A diffused nebula is when all the particles, such as protons, neutrons, and electrons, are all harmonized and balanced. If you were to snap your fingers into a diffused nebula, it would create stars and planets. You don't believe me? Google it. In the Bible, it says atom. However, English has been misconstrued.
So what you're talking about is an equilibrium. And what you're talking about is any disturbance in that equilibrium would yield the gas cloud to become...
Correct. Because in the beginning, there was chaos.
This applies to every nebula, by the way. Did you know that? Every planetary nebula.
Not every nebula. It has to be a diffused nebula.
Hold on. Every nebula with the right amount of energy and mass will eventually turn into a planetary system. Did you know that?
Correct. However, like physics proves, with every action, there's an opposite to equal reaction. Hence the example of disturbing the nebula. Which means we did come from nothing.
No, that's nonsense. We don't come from nothing. We do come from nebulas, but there's no reason why God had to do it. There's no reason why God had to do it. What you just explained is purely explained through naturalistic means.
Correct.
Well, then you just debunked yourself because God.
Not necessarily, because
show us that God is required for nature.
Requirement is not the target. how do I say this in English here? Ay, Dios mío. ¿Cómo se dice en inglés? If you read scripture, it's written in entendre. It's not meant as regular English. God is a concept to help you understand. Therefore, by which when people say we're made out of energy, they should look at how atoms are built, which are quarks, which are made out of energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. However, it can transform. Yes or no?
Yeah, and where's your evidence of God now, sir?
My evidence of God, the golden ratio.
A mathematical formula is evidence of a God? How? How is a mathematical formula evidence of a God?
You mean the phenomenon defined by science and identified as a phenomenon that is replicated throughout the universe, as well as on Earth?
No. So just because there's a pattern in nature, it doesn't mean that God is doing the pattern, right? Well, I agree with you that there are patterns in the universe that are governed by natural laws of nature. But that has no bearing. That has no bearing on the idea of a God.
The translation of the monotheistic regular God is incorrect. You do realize that, correct?
You do realize that you have given no evidence for God yet, right?
So let's see. The whole theory of God spoke light into existence, which we talked about with a diffuse nebula.
That's not a theory. That's a fairy tale. You can't snap
it's an explanation as to whether you want to say it's a Big Bang or whatever.
No, yes. The Big Bang is not described in the Bible whatsoever. That's not snapping light, and that's not the Big Bang. But more importantly, do you believe the Noah's Ark thing and the Adam and Eve shit too?
I believe it's written in metaphor and entendre. So therefore, by which, if you do not understand the actual meaning,
do you think there was an actual Noah's Ark, a big wooden boat with all the animals? Do you think that actually happened?
There's been many floods, including in Sumerian text. However,
can you answer the question, yes or no? Did Noah's Ark actually happen?
Yes.
Okay. So you think there's a big fucking wooden boat, which is impossible, and it went across the oceans and landed on a big mountain with all the penguins, pandas, dinosaurs, and all those animals on it, and then they magically landed on the Antarctica?
No.
Then how did the penguins get to Antarctica from Turkey?
Well, first of all, we were on a Pangea, so if you're looking back in time, you have to understand that. Yes or no?
Pangea was hundreds of millions of years ago?
Yes.
Okay, great. So how did the penguins get to
Antarctica? Books document history. Yes or no?
Sir, how did the penguins get to Antarctica?
The penguins never got to Antarctica. The penguins were developed as we were developed. As if you haven't studied Darwinism, if you go back 500 million years, we come from fish. What's the symbol of Christianity?
Have a good day. Oh my gosh. They developed penguins in the penguin factory. All right, get the next penguin. A penguin walks out. All right, get the next penguin. No. What do you got? Now we got to find that penguin factory. It's got to be somewhere here. Keep looking, guys. Keep looking for the factory. All right, only a couple more because I got to go. Everybody follow my YouTube. I post all these debates on my YouTube, by the way. Go to my YouTube, go follow me. Thank you for the PayPal. Somebody who's PayPal me. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. But go, please, follow my YouTube and follow me, right, for more debates.
What?
Hello?
No. I'm not taking that shit back.
What's up? What do you got? Hello?
Read the Bible.
I did. That's why I'm an atheist. The Bible is so bad, I became an atheist. Okay, next.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
Hey, Mike. You said you were a Christian for 20 years.
Yeah, now what's your evidence you got?
So why it took you 20 years to figure out you had it wrong? It took you that long?
Well, you see, the reason why it took me so long is because nobody ever challenged me about my beliefs, because people think beliefs are sacred in our society. So nobody really had the courage to challenge what I believed. That's why it took so long and takes for long for so many people in our world. That's why I'm here, to make sure that people recognize that it's not sacred and that these beliefs can be challenged. So go ahead and give us your evidence of God.
You're not going to find evidence of God. If God is an idea that's outside this universe, then
why do you
you're not
believe?
you're not
Why
going
do
to
you
get it.
believe in God?
Because what else created us?
Who said there was creation?
Then how did it start? How did it all start?
Who said there was a start?
So it just always existed. So then you just give up on it and say, I'm not going to figure it out, and we're just going to say it. Oh, it was always here, and that's just
No,
giving up.
that's what you're doing. You're saying that, oh, I don't know what happened, therefore God. I'm saying we don't know. I'm saying that it's possible that the universe could have always been there. It's possible that there's no creation. I just don't see evidence for it.
Well, I don't think you're ever going to get the evidence. To be honest with you, you're just not going to get it. But the thing is, you're not going to get the answer either of how.
Give us the evidence then.
No, you're not going to get it. You're not.
Try
You know
me.
you're not going to get it.
Try me.
Because it would defeat the entire purpose. Because God is outside of Earth. He's outside of the universe.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
He's not affected by it.
How do you know that?
Because he created it.
How do you know that?
Because he created it.
How do you know that?
I believe that. I believe that.
Why?
Not knowing and believing are two different things.
Right. Why do you believe in God if you don't have evidence for it?
Well, since I was a child, I believed in God. Since I was a child, I believed. I was told very vaguely of what it was.
You didn't answer the question. Why do you believe in God if you have no evidence for it?
Because there's no how was this all created? What started this? And the Big Bang Theory. I believe the Big Bang.
So this is an argument from ignorance. So you're saying I don't know, therefore God. This is dumb. We have reasons to believe it's not God. It's just physics.
I will never be able. I will never be able to prove to you that God exists, but you will never be able to prove to me that God does not exist.
Sure, I can. Do you think that God, the Bible, is true?
You can't.
Watch me.
Yes.
Watch me. Okay. Do you think that God is all loving?
Yes.
Then evil can't exist. This is called
the devil is a fallen angel.
And who made the devil?
God did.
Okay. Did God have to make the devil? Hello? Oh, okay. Poor guy. Poor guy. The devil got him. All right. Hey, what do you got?
Oh, wow. I actually made it to alive. I got a question. So, what if a man what if a man is on this earth and he's doing miracles and all that other stuff, godly, like Jesus type things? Would you follow that man? And he's doing miracles and all that stuff.
That's like following David Blaine. Like, is he just a magician, or is he actually doing shit that's real? Like, that's the point.
He's actually doing stuff that's real, like healing people and all that good stuff that they said Jesus
Okay, great.
did.
How do we prove that these people are real? Like, how do you prove these magic tricks actually are real?
By going to a doctor and having actual documents that the guy actually did heal somebody. Would you follow that man?
Oh, okay. What did Jesus heal for us?
He healed the sick, brought back the dead.
Medicine. We have medicine that does the same thing. What types of illnesses did Jesus heal?
Whatever illnesses they had back then. I couldn't tell you. So if someone had AIDS and he healed them from AIDS, someone had whatever they
AIDS is relatively new.
You're not answering the question. Would you follow that man if he was doing here?
Sir, I'm simply asking you, what miracles did your Jesus guy do?
Heal the blind. What if a man came to this earth and was healing the blind today?
Okay, great. Heal the blind. So where exactly did Jesus? How do you know that Jesus healed the blind? How do you know that?
That's just written back then. I'm saying today. What about today? What if a man was doing that today? Would you follow that man?
We just call him doctors. He's a doctor.
There's no doctors healing the blind like that. Just put their hands over their eyes and heal.
We have bionic eyes today. Did you know that we have bionic eyes that can replace our eyes?
No, I didn't know that.
We actually have things like Neuralink that can actually give us give sight to people. There's also eye procedures that can do it too. But so the point is that we have to evaluate the claims you're making. If your claim is that this guy healed an amputee, this guy said a magic word and his fucking leg grew back, that would be interesting.
So what if that happened?
Don't fucking kid me. Like,
so what if that happened?
If you can show that somebody's leg grew back.
So what if that happened? Would you follow that man?
I would ask him how he did it. I wouldn't just go, whoa, he healed someone's leg? Oh, let me follow him. That's stupid. What I would do is, how did this happen and how do you know this happened? I would ask the hard questions that you're not asking.
If you did it right in front of you, and this man's leg just grew back within seconds.
Okay, great. So how do we know this happened?
Your eyes can't lie. If you,
I can't take that anymore. I just can't. Hey, what do you got?
Hi, how are you?
Great. What do you got?
Miracle story. And because you had asked about, well, how do you know these things are true? What happened is my aunt was on her deathbed. She was 90 years old. She was in a coma. Doctors all said that her organs were failing, her kidneys, her liver, her heart, everything was awful. She was 90. Obviously, she's very old. But what happened is my sister called me. She goes, you better hurry and get to the hospital because Auntie Marie's going to die today. And they've already called for to do last rites. The priest is going to go there now. And so, oh shoot, I jumped in my car and I'm driving. And as I'm driving, I hear the words. They weren't my own thoughts and they weren't audible. It was just so strong in my head. It was, pray for a miracle, pray for a miracle, pray for a miracle. I heard it like 3 times in a row and I'm like, whoa. And then I drive a little further and I hear it again. And I mean, this happened on the drive, like a 10-minute drive, probably 8 times. So I'm like, okay, this is new. This is different, right? I'm like, okay. So, are you laughing? Oh, brother. Okay, well, you won't be laughing on the day of judgment. You really should think about it. So anyway, I'm driving and I get to the hospital and in the hallway just happened to see the priest there. He was going into the room at the same time. And I said, oh, are you here for Auntie Marie? He says, yes. And I said, I have a strong feeling we should pray for a miracle. And he says, oh, you do? I'm like, yeah. I said, I just have a strong feeling. And he goes, oh, okay, we could do that first. And then I asked him, I said, do you have oil? We could anoint her head with oil. And he said, oh, I have that with me also, because in the Bible it talks about praying for the sick in a group, anoint their head with oil for miracles. Anyway, so we went in the room. The 2 siblings of her 2 daughters are in the room, Rochelle and Mary. And we asked them if it was okay, and they said yes. So we prayed, and at the end of the prayer, he says, "In the name of Jesus, rise and be healed." I kid you not, I'm Christian. I put my hand on the Bible. I swear on the Bible that this happened.
No way.
And
No way.
yeah, I know. No way. Exactly what I thought. I thought, wow. Okay, but anyway, we prayed and she immediately woke up at that very second, right then, at the end of the prayer. So it can't be like, oh, it was just timing. But anyway, she woke up. We looked at each other. We were all in shock. And I'm like, whoa, did that really just happen? So I said, oh, it's a miracle. There she is. We prayed and she woke up immediately. They'd been trying to wake her up for 3 to 5 days, something like that.
Okay. Is it possible that maybe she just heard your voices and felt your hand on her and woke up from that?
Well, that's a nice thought. But here's the problem with that is that they have done that for 3 or 5 days in a row, slapping her hand in water, wiggling her face, singing, talking, nothing. Just
okay. Is it possible that this time it was a coincidence, maybe? Or maybe this time it actually worked?
That gives you it, then you know it's from God. So, I mean, there's that. And then there's the fact that in the Bible, it says that when 2 or more gather in my name, there I am in the midst of you. And the oil is mentioned. We did that. It was a combination of things.
Please stop yapping. Stop, right? How about the people who pray for their grandma or their mom and they die? How about those people? Was God dropping the ball? Was God at the bar at the moment?
Yeah. Well, you seem kind of bitter. I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. But we don't know all of what God's will is.
I'm trying to gauge where your IQ is at, because it seems to me that these things can be explained by coincidences. There's no reason why you had to invoke a God, right? We can easily invoke nature.
Well, okay. Let me talk now. So you said what the doctors are the healers. So check this out. So when we called the doctors in and they said, oh my, they were all in shock. First of all, there was 3 of them came in, I think it was. And then they said, wow. So they said, well, if everybody will go now, they wanted to start doing some other tests and schedule tests for her. She left that hospital a week later. What happened to her kidney disease? What happened to her lungs? What happened to her heart? All those things were failing. That's why she was in a coma. So you explain that part, because that's the doctor saying, he said it was a miracle. He was shocked. He was like, he said he'd never seen anything like it. So that's just what happened. I mean, everybody likes to say, oh, it's coincidence. No, it has all the things that go around it.
Why not? Ma'am, did you know that these things can actually, there's something called spontaneous remissions, where diseases can be spontaneously go into remission. This is a documented thing. This happens all the time. Doesn't need to be. There's a million people who have these diseases. And if one of them gets better, right? Sure, it's an anomaly, but it's still statistically possible. Maybe this is applied to your mother. Thankfully, you know, that maybe you are one of the people that her immune system had functioned a certain way, and the disease got better, or it suppressed itself, or went into remission. These are possibilities. In other words, instead of saying God did it, we have to make sure that we exhaust all of the most likely scenarios that explain this the best before you begin to say God did it. Because what if you were Muslim and you prayed to the Allah gods? Would you think that the Muslim God did it? No, right? The Hindu gods, whatever religion you are part of, you would say that's your God doing it. I'm asking for actual evidence as to how you know this is God, and you can't provide it.
How do I know it's God? Because God, the Holy Spirit, was put on my heart to pray for her on the way.
How do you know that?
Well, what do you think that was? You think that's just my imagination too, right?
It could have been, ma'am. It could have been. That's the point, right?
Well, it kind of
Could have been
shocked
your
me
own
out of
thoughts.
nowhere for a
Your
voice
mom was
so
on your
strong.
mind. Your mom was on your mind, and you were
Hi,
thinking
Auntie.
about her, and your mind said, "Let me pray to my mom." That's what happened. That's the most likely scenario.
Yeah, we don't pray to people, not to my mom, but for my mom, in Jesus' name. But you know,
Okay,
it's okay.
whatever.
I'm sorry.
Same
We
thing.
don't agree, and that's okay. No worries. I
No, it's not that we don't agree. It's that you have not presented evidence. That's the most important thing here. You don't have evidence for what you said.
So, first question. Are you atheist? Is that like you don't believe in any God? Any form of higher power, or you're just, it's just a quick question.
Yes, I'm an atheist. Now, what's your evidence you got?
Okay, so do you not have eyes? Like, can you not see the world around you? When you look outside and you see, yeah, exactly. So you see, to me,
yep, I have eyes.
To me, you seem educated, but you're clearly a fool because how do you know? How do you know? Okay, a painting is not just, it has a creator, right? How do you know the painting has a painter when you look at it?
And every cloud has a cloud maker, right? Every raindrop has a rainmaker. And every volcano has a volcano maker. And every river has a river digger.
It's almost,
and every mountain has a mountain mover. No,
it's almost obvious though.
Sir,
do you know what I feel like?
Listen.
Okay, I'll listen to you and then you listen to me.
Just because there are some circumstances where there's a person behind a painting doesn't mean that there's a person behind everything in the world, right? There's no person behind the rain.
It's a person, it's God.
Same thing, an agency. There's no person behind a rain cloud or volcano. They're just natural phenomenon.
And it just came from nothingness?
No, that's what your God came from. We're talking about reality. In reality, the universe could have always existed and goes through stages of changes.
Have you heard of the law of entropy? Things go from order to chaos. They don't go from order to chaos to order again. You sound silly. That destroys that
in
right
a closed system. In a closed system, buddy. The universe is not a closed system.
And you know that? So you believe that the universe is not a closed system. You know, it sounds more silly to believe that what you have is a belief, though. That's a belief, right? Because you have no proof of that.
Listen to me.
But do you have proof of that? Do you have proof that that it is not a closed system?
Stop. I'll grant you that the universe may be closed or open.
It's a simple question.
I'm
answer mine and I'll answer yours.
I'm asking you, what
do you have proof? I asked you something, and then
oh my gosh, can you stop and listen?
Okay.
How do you know that entropy proves a God?
I'm not. It's a point that I'm trying to prove, and you're not answering my question.
Great. So what about entropy demonstrates a God?
That things go from order to chaos.
No, that's incorrect.
It would take a God. It would take
great. So let me correct you.
Something of creation.
Sir, let me correct you. Things go from chaos to order.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant.
Order to chaos in a closed system. The universe is likely an open system. That's what most scientists agree with. But the point is that there could be pockets of order in an ocean of chaos. And that's what life is. In other words, life could be causing less entropy to occur in exchange for more entropy to the outside world. And that's what we're experiencing. That's what the Earth is. And that's what the planetary system is. That's how entropy works. It depends on the system you're talking about. So, how exactly does entropy demonstrate a God?
Because God has created order out of the chaos. That's where it's demonstrated.
Order can come naturally from chaos.
Like, order can come naturally from chaos.
Gravity can collapse. Sir, listen, you're not listening to me, please. Gravity can collapse a nebula cloud and turn it into an orderly planetary system. That's order, that's chaos to order naturally.
Okay.
You don't need God.
How can you say that's not God's design? How can you tell
How can you
me
say it
that God
is?
did not?
How can you say it's
Think
not
about this.
Poo Poo Monsters designed or Spaghetti Monsters designed? It's the same shit you're doing.
No, but think about what you're saying. Like logically, actually think about this for a second. What your statement was that things can go from chaos to order, correct?
Correct.
So how can you prove to me that that's not God's design? Like we both are on the same
I'm
spectrum
not
here of
saying
like,
it's
well,
not
you
God's
prove me
design.
wrong.
I'm not, sir. I'm asking you a question. How do you know it's God's design?
Through belief, just as you believe. Your
Belief isn't
belief is that
knowledge.
it's not. My
Belief is
belief
not.
is that it is.
No. I don't believe it's not God's design. I'm saying there's no evidence it's God's design. I'm asking you for evidence, and belief is not
But there's
evidence.
also no, what I'm trying to say to you is there's no evidence that it's not God's
There's
design.
no
Like I could
evidence.
throw the
There's
same ball
no.
back into your park.
There's no evidence that it's not Spaghetti Monsters design either.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
You're right.
great. So why the fuck do you believe in your God? There's a billion possible gods and a billion different possibilities.
Through my life experience and
Okay, great. So what experience demonstrates God exists?
Through my life experience, I look at the world around me. I see that the world is run by evil, demonic people. That everything in higher power is.
Then don't forget to take your pills. The demonic people are watching.
Oh, I got a strong argument.
How old are you?
I am 18.
What year were you born?
2002.
You're a very young, very old 18-year-old. You've been 18 for many years now. What do you got? Brenda?
Oh, hi, how are you? So, it's interesting. You've come up on my For You page quite a bit. And I've been online a lot because my niece
Am I
is.
attractive? Am I attractive?
You are.
Oh, thank
So my
you.
niece is Brianne Pennington, who was murdered by her husband out of Massachusetts. And so, these types of things are on my mind. I know. And I'm very curious. I have two questions. Were you raised with religion, and how did you come to be an atheist? How did that happen?
I read the Bible and I said, holy shit, this is stupid. That's how I became an atheist.
Yeah. So were you raised Christian?
Yeah. Now, do you have evidence for God or no?
Well, it's interesting because I also was hospice, worked in hospice for many years. So I have, I've witnessed people transition a lot.
Okay.
And so
how do you know they transitioned? How do you know they transitioned and just weren't going through some episode?
Well, it's interesting because there's a lot of talk about that. And usually I think that what you're doing is you're trying to prove something, right? You're trying to prove something and get evidence of and all of these things. But do you have any children? Have you ever had a child? Do you have a baby?
Ma'am, I don't see why this is relevant. No, I don't have
No,
kids.
I'm just trying. I'm trying to understand you.
What is your
Because
evidence of God?
Well, I want to understand you, so I want you to tell me, if you have your own child, were you in the delivery room, and did you hold your baby when your baby was born? Yes or no?
No, but Spaghetti Monster was there watching over me.
Okay. So what I can tell you is we can sit and argue this forever, right? But honestly, for most all people who believe in Christ and who believe in God, we do so because the Holy Ghost has revealed that to us. And the best description I can give you as to what that feels like is when you're in the delivery room having your baby and you hold your baby for the first time, the joy that you feel in your chest and your heart is so overwhelming. It's
great.
so overwhelming. So let me finish.
Okay, great.
Let me finish.
So when
it is really
hold on.
So it's a spiritual experience.
Hold on. So when I have sex and it feels great, I feel lots of joy. Does that mean the Holy Ghost is there?
I'm trying to give you an example of what it feels like. Now I want you to do this for me. If I've never tasted salt,
All right. next. Remember, guys, every time you have sex, the Holy Ghost is watching. He's inside. He's looking after you guys.
Hello?
What do you got?
How's it going? Hello?
Come on,
Can you
sir,
hear me?
hurry up. Give us your evidence of God or go away. Hurry up.
Oh, you need proof of God?
Yeah, I need proof of God.
I mean, look around you. I mean, don't you see how beautiful this world is? I mean, we got big blue skies and big blue oceans.
That's
we
right.
got
Big blue eyes.
We got plenty of food.
Look around, boy. The trees, the bees, the seas. Look at all this. Who made it?
Ain't that good enough for you?
It's got to be God. All right. Anybody else that has an IQ over 50? I'll even take 40. Okay. Okay. Let's see this person.
Can you hear me?
Unfortunately.
I'm gonna be straight up here. I'm gonna be without wasting the time. No Christian, nobody can give you evidence here, because all of them are based on faith. They're not. They don't got evidence.
Okay, and I have faith that you're wrong. And now what? Now we're both fucked, right? I'm asking for evidence of God.
Yeah, they can't give evidence because it's based off faith.
Okay. Faith is useless then. Just be nice. I am nice. It's not that I'm not nice. It's that you don't like what I'm saying. You're not comfortable with it. Hey, what do you got?
Are we together?
Yeah,
Yep.
we are together.
Hey, I'm Gerald. How are you doing?
Tired. What do you got?
Just say yes if you're talking to me.
Have a good day, sir. Let's see the next victim here. Someone just said the science you believe in was discovered by Christians. Nobody discovered science. It's like one day we're going, where's science? Let's look for it. Science, are you there? With the telescopes. Let's look for science, guys. We're going on a discovery. Through the forests, through space. Shh. No, we didn't discover science. Science is a method we invented. It's a methodology that we invented. And yes, there were Christians behind it. There were Muslims behind science. There were also atheists behind science. Science is not a Christian endeavor. It is a human endeavor. And it has no bearing on whether or not Christianity is true.
Hey, man.
What do you got?
So look, do you believe in energy?
Yeah, I believe in energy, sir.
Energy, right? Do you believe in energy?
Yes.
Okay, well, just believe in the energy that you put out. The energy that you put out.
My piss and shit. I put that out all the time. My piss and shit.
Nah, bro. I'm
that's
talking about the good energy and the bad energy, bro. So it all depends on the energy that you put out, bro.
Yep.
So if you put out good energy,
yeah. Good energy. You got that energy.
You're not getting it.
I'm praying to energy for you, the energy gods. Dear energy gods, make sure that he has lots of good energy. Amen. I can't take much of this, guys, anymore. So one more guest before I go mad. Hey, Danny's watching. What's up, Danny? Nice to see you. We should collab more.
Hey, you believe in evolution, right?
Evolution's a fact, yes.
Okay, so what led to the evolution of birds? How on earth could birds have evolved naturally?
Birds are just reptiles that emerged from the reptiles about 300 million years ago. They emerged from dinosaurs as well. Dinosaurs that had very large arms, that were feathered arms, and then eventually they ran up trees. They jumped. They were jumping quite often, which they were selected for growing wings over many millennia, over many generations. Wings evolved that way.
But having wings wouldn't make any specific creature have any advantage, survival advantage over any of the others.
Would. Are you kidding me? Having wings allows you to.
It only did.
Hold on.
It only did once they. Okay.
No, having wings would allow you to traverse to other habitats and get you more food and more places to find shelter.
No, of course, yes, but before those wings could be used, while the millennia that you're talking about, where the wings were quote unquote evolving, why would they continue to evolve if they weren't being used?
They were being used. That's the point that you.
But they couldn't fly yet.
Hold on, I understand that. And the point you're missing is that there were many intermediary stages that were in between birds that couldn't fly and could fly. And I just mentioned to you, they developed wings for stability when they ran, like ostriches. Ostriches have wings, but they can't fly. Why is that? Because their wings stabilize their bodies as they're running quickly, as well as the fact that many of these animals would jump up trees using the wings as well as stability to go up the trees faster, and which allowed them to jump at higher heights, and they use their wings to gain more momentum. Those are all stages that come in between flying and not flying that you don't understand.
I mean, you can sit here and try to put together reasons of why.
No, this is evidence-based. We have tons of studies on this. Go learn it.
I have learned it, actually.
Great.
So there are a lot of people
that we have
there are
good
a lot of
reasons.
people. Go ahead.
Then you should know that we have good reasons for what I just said is true. What's your evidence of God now? Because even if evolution was false, it still doesn't mean God exists.
Why? Okay, no, there actually are many reasons why you can clearly see that God exists, okay? Even the example of the dinosaurs. The fact that a meteor wiped out the entire species is not like by chance. It's not by chance. It's because humans wouldn't have been able to coexist. Mammals in general wouldn't have been able to coexist with dinosaurs roaming the earth.
What? Everything you just said was incoherent babble. Why is it not chance or probability that an asteroid would hit the Earth? That literally happens in certain times, in certain time frames. And by the way, mammals did coexist with dinosaurs. Just not
They
us.
coexisted, but in the shadows. They weren't actually able to evolve.
Okay, and so what is the problem with this? What's your problem?
I'm saying that God prepared the earth for humans before creating us. And
That's stupid.
yeah,
He's God. If
yes,
God existed,
actually,
we'd expect a world where we just exist naturally. We wouldn't have to have an asteroid come down and kill us. God could fucking make us live anywhere. He could make us live no matter what. God could have made us live with the dinosaurs. He didn't have, if God exists, he didn't have to extinct the dinosaurs. He could have made the dinosaurs all vegetarian. He could have done that.
you're saying we could coexist with dinosaurs?
Fuck yeah, if they were
Are
all
you
vegetarian.
living in the Jurassic Park movie or something? Like, what is this?
Sure. If they're all vegetarian dinosaurs, they could all exist with us.
I'm surprised that you actually allow yourself to believe that.
I never said I believe that. I said it's a possibility.
That you believe that it's a possibility. You believe that
Yes.
humans
Why is it
could
not a
have gotten.
possibility?
That's
We
not a
exist with
possibility at
rhinos
all.
and all kinds of
Humans,
giraffes.
we used to be just like all the other mammals. We were not advanced, right? Still playing with stones and fire. You think we would have been able to have reached where we are now
Sir,
if
what is your
dinosaurs roamed the earth with us?
what is the issue? Where's your evidence of God?
I'm saying that all the events that took place up until today, to all the different species that existed, to the earth in general, okay, as a home for all creation, is too coordinated, okay, for it to be natural, okay, natural.
See, you're only saying this because you can look back in retrospect and go, wow, all these events had happened for us to exist. But the same could be said for any species on the planet. The same thing you just invoked for humans could be said for any species that have ever existed and will exist in the future, no matter what they are. So in this sense, humans are not special.
That's the point. You are literally proving my
No,
point.
that's exactly the opposite of your point.
You just
your
said
point
it
is
could
that we
apply
are
to all
special.
species.
What?
You said that can be applied to everything, which means that everything is
Yes.
planned out.
No, it means that there is no reason. There's no specific reason as to why we are special. The same laws of the same laws of nature apply to all species and apply to all living beings, which means that it's not that there's somebody planning this out, but that there is one law of nature, that they exist under all the same laws of nature that we exist in.
So
And that
why
can be
are we
explained
the
through
only
natural
species
causes.
out of the vast number of species that have ever existed? Why are humans the only one who developed enough intellect to do like the simplest things?
Like what?
Create fire.
Yeah, because we
Why are
evolved.
humans the only one?
Okay, hold on. The reason why we evolved this way is because about 6 million years ago, our ape ancestors were forced to leave the trees of Africa and start migrating across the continent and into Europe and Asia. And this forced us to learn new ways of developing fire. It forced us to either become intelligent to survive or die. That's why our brains grew, because of the specific evolutionary pressures that we underwent. It's not because there's a God helping us. Because if God existed, he wouldn't have to do this nonsense. Again, like I said, God could have made us exist just without all this evolution nonsense. God could have just made us exist this way without evolution. So what you're invoking is actually evidence for evolution and evidence for naturalism, because of all the natural processes that this can be explained with. Whereas God, if God exists, he wouldn't have to go through evolution. That's stupid.
Listen, I believe in God, but I also believe in evolution of other animals. Okay, I believe in, obviously,
we evolved too, sir.
I believe in the finches. Okay, I believe in Darwin's theory.
Sir, everything evolves, even humans. Get over it.
Yeah, agreed.
What is your evidence of God? What is your evidence of God, sir?
I explained to you already my evidence, okay? And you're sitting here trying.
The reason why it's not evidence is because we have naturalistic explanations for it. And adding God to the picture, it gives no extra explanatory power over naturalism. In fact, it wouldn't make sense if God exists for us to evolve. Because evolution's a predictable natural process.
God
What do you got?
Hello?
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 Don't mock me.
Don't mock me.
But
What do you
God
got?
is real. He's very much real. I don't know why you're demon this, saying this, your ugly self want to keep doing all this extraness, because you doing the absolute most. And I heard that you over here yelling at my friend, because when he got on here, bitch, I will
Yeah,
fucking
you doing the absolute most, girl.
I will knock your head out. I
Oh
will
no,
chop
I
your
will.
head out.
Oh hell no! Did
Donkey,
you
you
just told me
donkey
that?
face,
Oh hell
you
no!
donkey head, you donkey face,
Oh
ugly
hell
man.
no!
You ugly.
Oh hell no,
You
girl. Christian love. They love me so much they want to roast me. Hey, what do you got? Oh hell no, girl. What do you got? Alexis? Notice how all they can do is insult. They can never give evidence for their God. Coincidence? I think not. Coco?
Hello.
Hey, what's your evidence for God? Take your time.
May I ask what the purpose of your live is for?
To get evidence of God?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, I love boomers. Oh, I love boomers. Hey, what do you got?
God is real, and I'm gonna tell you why God is real, okay?
Oh, okay.
The reason why God is real, I believe in God because whenever something bad is about to happen, I'm able to dream about it, and I see it in the dreams before it happens in real life. So that has to be God that's doing that.
Okay. Did your dream ever notice? Did you dream that I kicked you out of the live?
Okay, another thing I want to say is,
Oh, I guess not. I guess you didn't dream that. Because you kept talking. All right.
Hello, we finally speak. I don't know if you know who I am.
No, what's your evidence?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm going to make this very quick because I know you've got other people waiting. But you guys can fact check this. Basically, the Israeli army got attacked by angels. And they said they were fighting ghosts. You can check this, fact check this. Go to the Israeli minister.
Oh my
Go to his
gosh,
Twitter.
sir.
He said, we are fighting ghosts.
Oh
That
my
is literally
God.
what he
They're
said.
fighting Casper?
You can check it out.
Oh no,
They got attacked
Casper.
by angels.
We're going to call Ghostbusters.
All right, see you later. Check out my page if you want proof.
All right, check out Ghostbusters website. They got lots of ghost hunters out there. All right, I just can't do this anymore. I got to go. Ghostbusters. Who's Israel? A little Halloween special for you guys. Do a Trump impression. Everybody gotta follow my YouTube right now. Promise me that you're gonna follow my YouTube. I can try. What do you want me to say in Trump voice? I'm already subscribed. What do I do? Well, subscribe again. Excuse me, Biden. Okay, Sleepy Joe. We call him Sleepy Joe. Okay. We're gonna go away. Okay, we're gonna tremendous and bigly. Okay, we're gonna be a bigly election. Okay. Believe me, we're gonna do bigger than any country. Okay. You're fired. Okay. Excuse me. You're fired. Okay. China is doing tremendous. Okay. Take a look at their wall. They're building a big wall. They call it the Wall of China. Okay. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Okay. I'm rich. I'm really rich. Okay. I got bigly money. Okay. All right. That's enough. I got to go. Follow me for more debates. I'm the best debater, by the way, on the platform. Subscribe to my YouTube. Yeah. I gotta go.